Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to more Dominion 6. Yep. Last time we did the Tomb Kings in the Warhammer mod, and it was pretty great. It was a lot of fun. We had a nice victory. It was all good. This time we are still going to play a Warhammer faction, but we're going to take out the mod that removes all the vanilla factions. So there will be a mix, and this one is primarily to test sort of the overall balance feel. It's a very small sample size, but I just want to see somewhat how Warhammer factions match up against vanilla factions. And I only have about an hour or so to record this, so there's kind of a limit on this video. If you're wondering about the short timer, I assume, unless I just lose my mind, you never know. But anyways, yeah, so all the other mods, as usual, are in effect. We just removed that one. So to get a decent, what I want to see is like towards the later game, if I look at the graphs and I see all Warhammer factions on top of everything and all vanilla factions towards the bottom of everything, that's kind of telling. I don't think that's what will happen, but I kind of want to see. And so for that, I think we're going to go with more players than normal, than I usually go with, maybe 10 or so. Which means that we could go with a custom map, because those tend to be bigger. But I think we'll just do a regular rando map just for... Just to be fair. So this is going to be Mangg's LP's 18. I could put Warhammer on this, but it's not technically exclusively Warhammer. And if the balance works out, and it's not obscene for single player, then I'll probably just always play with this. It only affects middle age. All the Warhammer factions are in middle age. But I think that probably is my favorite age anyways, so... Alright, anyways. So middle age, and we're going to be doing, let's see, 9 AI. 3, 6, 9, 10 players. They're all going to be on difficult. They're all going to be on standard. And we're going to pick their nations. It's not going to be random because I want a mix of both. But for our nation, we want to be one of the human nations. I want to try one of those just to see how the Warhammer mod handles what would normally be perhaps a more boring nation compared to like Tomb Kings and vampires and stuff. So we have, let's see, Ulthuan? No, it's High Elves. Bretonia? Tilia? Norska? Technically, yeah. Altdorf? Nuln? Middenheim? Kislev? And Cathay. Those are all human factions, which is quite a bit. Now, Altdorf is, of course, the fucking empire, you know, that is the seat of the emperor. So that is the most human of human factions. I mean, just looking at it, they got medium and heavy infantry with extremely heavy cavalry and dedicated missile units. Their colleges allow access to all non-blood magic, and they have strong priests. You know, where's the downside here? They got everything. Yeah, I mean, they got fucking everything. Badass sprites while they're at it. Reichsguard foot. And look at this. Demigriff Order Knight. So that's tempting. I don't know if they have any unique mechanics outside of just mage colleges that give them access to all sorts of magic. I guess. I mean, they got some stuff. They got knightly orders. I mean, you know, something. Bretonia is sort of, you know, kind of French Knights of the Round Table, Arthurian kind of knights. They got expendable peasants, powerful heavy cavalry with flying Pegasus knights, sacred grail knights, powerful priests. Pilgrims gather at temples according to Dominion's strength. Yep, grail knights. Pretty fucking powerful, to say the least. So that's another one. Strong, heavy cavalry. Yep, okay. We kind of just did... Well, we didn't really just do something with the cavalry. We had charioteers and stuff, but yeah, similar, I suppose. Tilia, the Dogs of War. They get mercenary infantry and cavalry with reduced resource and RP cost, powerful unique regiments of renown. They get expensive access to most magic paths, weak priests, few in number, master traders, so they get more gold income, randomized mage and regiments of renown contracts. So they're like a mercenary sort of faction and dependent on that. So you're going to get all sorts of interesting... yeah, captain of the fellowship, things like that. That's pretty cool. Regiments of renown. Obviously a a big part of Total War. Okay. Then we have Norska. So they worship chaos undivided. So they're very hardy, partial cold resistance. They have beasts of chaos with them. Strong infantry with few ranged weapons. Some troops and commanders can earn promotions. Get access to water, nature, death, air, blood, and fire magic. Blood sacrifice. Coastal sites generate gold and slaves. Taking a second capital unlocks a new sacred troop. Very interesting. Heavy on the turmoil. Not heavy on cavalry or anything, but they do get mammoth riders. Oh my god, the full graphic. We're seeing like a third of it. Dragon Ogre. That's pretty cool. So that could be a lot of fun. Nuln. Halfling allies, medium and heavy infantry, extremely heavy cavalry, dedicated missile units, colleges, blah blah blah. You know, they're part of the Empire and everything, blah blah blah. So pretty similar stuff. They get Demigryph Order Knights and all that. They get the great swords. Yeah, similar, but they do get steam tanks, which is pretty fucking cool. Tempting. Middenheim, human, elf, and dwarf. The Alliance, the Lord of the Rings Alliance here. Medium and heavy infantry with extremely heavy cavalry and dedicated missile units. So also part of the Empire. They get Order Knights and stuff. They also get colleges of mages with access to everything. Yeah, all very similar. Then there is Kislev. This is like sort of your they're like Russian, you know, yeah, very very Russian motherland, all that stuff. If you watched my Total War videos, we did the tutorial with them. Hard-hitting infantry, massed archers and horse archers, charge-focused cavalry, and bears. Fucking bears. They can summon a greater avatar of Ursun. Holy shit. That is awesome. And they have this gaggle of troops. That's pretty fun. Yeah, that's I do like Kislev. I like a lot of aspects of them. And then Cathay. Humans ruled by dragon bloods. They get peasants, disciplined infantry and cavalry, terracotta automatons. Strong astral, good earth, fire, water, air, some nature. Weak priests. They get bastions and imperial harmony. Heavy, nice scale options. Oh man, yeah, still a lot of choices here. And then we haven't even gotten into like any of the chaos options or anything, which were also really tempting. Well, Kislev is strong. It's a strong contender. I would say Norska's a pretty strong contender too. It would be fun to just play fucking Chaos. I mean, this Chaos Troll and the Norskin Ogre just look really, really badass. Berserkers and Reavers and stuff. But I don't know, I'm leaning maybe towards Cathay. You get a lot of options, but you get some fun, unique things, and I really want to see this. Like, some unique mechanics here. They get Bastions, they get Imperial Harmony as a mechanic. They have Sky Lanterns. They have this Fire Rain Wagoneer, which we have to make. I mean, come on. And then the Terracotta Automatons. I assume that's not represented on this list. I assume they have to be made or something. Oh, they do get a dragon. Fuck, they get a dragon. Excellent. Oh yeah, Terracotta, Pikeman, Swordsman, Horseman, Sentinel. Holy shit. Yeah, we gotta go with Cathay. My first Total War game, like, that I actually played through and won was with Cathay, so I'm somewhat attached to them. They're really badass. Alright, so we're gonna take Cathay. Alright, then for the other factions, we want 4 other Warhammer factions and 5 normal factions, so it's an even split. So for Warhammer, let's take something we haven't had before. Let's take Slaanesh. We're going to take the Goldtooth tribe. We're going to have... I want some stuff we haven't seen before. Zarnagrund. And last but not least, let's have the Black Crag. Maybe they can do better than I did. Go with that. Then for vanilla stuff, we don't want anything really lame, but I want to see Ulm done well. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't want any of that bullshit Ermor or Asphodel, so we'll leave that out. We'll give them Phlegra. Yeah, let's just do like a greatest hits of stuff that I've played in MA. I did win a game recently as Agartha, so we'll do that. And we've done Tianchi. And what else have we done? What else have we done in MA and won? Arcoscephaly? Was that MA we won? I think so. Maybe I should throw in one aquatic one. Alright, early A. We'll throw in early A. Alright, that's it. Alright, let's go over our shit. As far as specific commanders. Which is going to be half this video. So we got a very normal, boring, I mean, this is just a vanilla scout. Nothing exciting there. But we do have a Sky Lantern Captain. Map move of 24. It's not stealthy, though. It's flying. It's got a patrol bonus. Yeah, and it says it will transform to a grounded version for battle. Identical, but without flying. It will return to its flying state after each battle. Okay. It has 50 leadership, so it can lead troops in a battle, albeit not very well. And yeah, it's just because there are Sky Lanterns, so they wanted a Sky Lantern captain. So I guess you could conceivably just have this guy and 50 Sky Lanterns. It's got a Torch Spear, length 3, 15 damage, with an extra AoE 1 effect of Torch Flame. And then the Torch Shot, range 20, 5 armor piercing fire damage, AoE 1, 10 ammunition. Okay. Jade Commander. Standard mounted commander, 100 leadership. Very nice. So on and so forth. Very standard. Then the Dynast General, 150 leadership. That is a very solid commander for a very solid price. I'm impressed. Okay. Monk Abbot can be recruited outside force as well. Level 1 priest. Susceptible to shock, poison resistance, recuperation. Okay, your most basic priest possible, pretty much. Herbalist. Disease Healer 1. Inept Researcher, Nature 1. We will not be making probably almost any of these guys. Imperial Alchemist. Fire 1, Water 1, Earth 1. It's kind of a nice mix, but they're all level 1. And Alchemist 50. Exceptionally good at converting magic gems to gold using magic rituals. Well, I've never done it. I've never needed to do it. It seems like the opposite direction you kind of want to go. If I could convert gold to magic gems, now you'd be talking. Fire Elementalist. 2 fire, 9 research, and Farcaster 1. Fire 1. So 25% further range on fire spells. Yeah. I mean, Fire 2 gives you access to a good amount of stuff with some boosters, like we saw with Phlegra. I mean, you can get up to the Living Fire territory and dropping Falling Fires and things like that. It's not bad. Air Elementalist, same thing, but with air. That's fun. Water with water. Earth with earth. And then Imperial Astromancer gets Air Mage 1, Astral 3. Also Old Age. Interesting. So with just Astromancers, we could form them all into a big communion, but that's kind of not ideal. What we could instead do yeah, I'm trying to think of the best way to do it, but we could do a bunch of these air elementalist and give them all that item that lets them automatically join a communion as slaves. And then we have an astroman or a few astromancers cast the communion master spell, and then they could get some pretty intense air like if we have 8 of these guys, you know, they could get up to what would that be, air 4, and the fatigue would really be minimal because the slaves all technically have higher starting air. Or if we give them air boosters, they can have equal air. Although air booster is always tricky to get. So you could do something with that to have them really spam thunder strikes or, you know, whatever, things like that. Outside of that, I assume there's going to be some specific spells for our nation that these guys are capable of casting with this combination, if we don't want to get involved with all the communions and stuff. But otherwise, I mean, we're similar in some ways to Phlegra here, where we have a decent variety of paths all at level 2, which gives us a lot of options. And then lastly, the Dragonblood Lord, capital only. Fire 1, Air 1, Water 1, Earth 1, and then another Fire, Air, Water, Earth, and Fire, Air, Water, Earth. My god, and they're sacred with recuperation and combat caster. This is a thug if you've ever seen a thug. Holy shit. The amount of buffs he can throw on him. He gets personal mist form, he gets quickness, he gets liquid body, he gets personal iron skin, fire shield. I mean, sky's the limit. He's gonna run out of fatigue just casting all his own personal buffs. But it's also just nice to have a commander that can also throw out buffs on the team at the start of combat, because I usually don't like to send commanders in. But man, yeah, he would be quite powerful. Cap only, 6 recruitment points, 500 gold, 31 resources. We're not going to make too many of them. They're not going to be our standard commanders or anything. But, yeah, powerful. Okay, so what did we see there? Very weak priests. Very, very weak priests. We only have level 1 priests with no other special trait available to them. So that's a far cry from what we just did, where everybody was a priest. Yeah, that is it. Level 1 priests. All right, units. We have the Peasant Archer. Not that cheap. They're slaves. 6 gold, 5 resources, 10 accuracy with their composite bows. I'm surprised they get composite bows. Yeah, I mean, we could mass it all up. Flaming arrows, but I say that every time, and I never get flaming arrows on it because it always scares me. Unless you have, like, immense fire resistance. Peasant Spearmen. Get 4 length half pikes, 16 damage, 9 attack. That is not bad. For stats, average hit points, below average protection at 7, average MR, below average morale, due to being slaves. I don't know if I saw a lot of taskmasters out there either. No, so they are kind of sitting on that. Below average attack, below average defense. But they're damn cheap, and 4 length half pikes is kind of nice. Especially 16 damage. Not bad, actually. I don't mind those. Peasant Rocketeer. Oh, God. So they also get the half pikes, but they additionally get range 50 rockets with -1 attack. So extremely inaccurate. Does 9 bludgeoning damage and an additional 12 armor-piercing fire damage on hit. Well. And they get 1 shot with that. Technically, I'd probably say they're just better than the other ones, because you can just fire off your 1 rocket at the start, range 50, and then they just become spearmen. Because I don't think they really... Yeah, they have the exact same stats otherwise. But you can only get 10 of these per turn. And they do cost 2 more gold and 4 more resources. But honestly, if I'm going to make these spearmen, I'm going to make 10 rocketeers with them every time. Repeater crossbowmen. Okay. They get a poison repeater crossbow, range 20, shoots twice per round. That's pretty powerful. They only have 12 ammunition. I don't know if it ticks down 2 ammunition every shot. I don't know that. I can maybe look. Maybe I have to look in my manual. Ammunition. Number of ranged attacks possible in any one combat is limited to this number. The number of ranged attacks possible. And this says number of attacks 2. So, I mean, based on wording, I would say they can only shoot it 6 times. Which seems kind of limited. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to find out. Otherwise, range 20 is pretty damn low, especially because they're not really good in melee. And they're just going to die. And, I mean, 8 damage is pretty low. No matter how many attacks you want to make with it, that's not very high in middle age. So I'm iffy on the repeater crossbowman. Jade Halberdier. Alright, so 14 protection's pretty good. All the stats are kind of average or slightly above. 17 resources. They got a 3 length halberd, 22 piercing, slashing. Yeah, I don't tend to go for halberds and glaives. Because usually my front line I want shields, and my flanks I want hard hitting like cavalry or charioteers or tramplers of some kind, or some sort of big brutes that can actually withstand a lot of damage. Just by, you know, like rat ogre kind of stuff. So these guys, I'm never quite sure how to fit them in. But perhaps there's just me and my playstyle or being ignorance, I don't know. Jade Swordsman. Okay. So 14 protection, 13 defense. They get falchions, 18 slashing damage. This is, yeah, kind of your bread and butter, but I usually don't like sword and board. I like spears. Jade Pikemen, on the other hand, get length 5 pikes, 17 pierce damage. I would say, you know, you either want shields or a big long weapon, one or the other. So this is an option, and I could be persuaded to go for that instead of the swordsman. But then again, I know enemy archers. We play against a lot of AI that uses archers frequently, and the shield is pretty valuable. So I'd probably still lean towards the swordsman, even though I don't like the sword. Jade Crossbowman. Alright, this is now your standard one. Range 40, 13 attack, 11 pierce. This is a very standard MA crossbowman, I would say. Nothing especially exciting about it, but decently armored. 14 is pretty solid for archers. Celestial Guard. 20 on costs. Above average hit points. 14 protection, 13 MR and morale, 15 defense. They got a Cathay longsword, length 2, shockingly. 14 attack, 17 slashing damage. This would be our front line. Yeah, this is what I would pick for the front line. Because I tend to like the higher end stuff, even if I have to go higher end scales. I like scales. And yeah, they have the 13 MR, which is pretty good. 15 defense is very solid. You know, Legion of Steel. Bump that protection up further. Pretty respectable, I think. The Sky Lantern Soldier. So this is the soldier version of that commander. So I got the Torch Spear with the extra flame hit, and then the Torch Shot, range 20 with 10 ammunition. It is a nice AoE hit, which is rare. The damage is 5, very low. It is armor piercing, but yeah, I mean, if they have 10 protection, which is very standard, this will do on average like 0 damage. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably make some just to see, but I don't have lofty expectations for them, especially with range 20. It's very low. Without some far shot or whatever it's called buffs. Cavalry, we have the Jade Lancer. Pretty solid. Yeah, pretty solid. 14 protection, 10 hit points on the rider. This is the rider. Pretty standard. 16 defense, not bad. Got that nice big lance. 16 damage. They used once for the charge bonus. And then a falchion. Warhorse. Usually pretty standard. About 15 protection, 23 hit points for a mount. It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad protection. Then the Dynast Cavalry. So this is your heavy cav. 16 protection on the rider. 18 defense is very strong. They got the big old lance. Cathay longsword, length 2. Attack 14, 17 slash. Warhorse gets cataphract barding, 17 protection. 23 hit points. Yeah. Expensive, though. 50 gold, 40 resource, 43 recruitment points. But, you know, you get what you pay for, I suppose. Ogre Eastern Maneater coming out of nowhere amidst all this this human stuff. So, these, yeah, 2 per turn limited, 65 gold. 32 hit points, 18 protection, 16 morale. They've got Cathay longsword with 26 damage. And an Ogre Smash. They get a charge bonus with it. 15 bludgeoning damage. But yeah, very painful. Very, very painful. We may go for some of those guys. Just very nice just on the flank coming in. They're unlikely to die super easily to standard infantry, but they will kind of cut anything they hit. Oh, but this, yes, 1 per turn, and we will be utilizing that, even though it is shockingly expensive. 136 resources, 250 gold. The Fire Rain Wagoneer can shoot 8 different rain rockets at range 60. Very inaccurate. Attack 3. Does 14 bludgeoning damage. But then has an AoE 2 explosion. 13 armor piercing fire damage. They don't shoot often, once every 3 rounds. But yes. Yes, I want them. I just want a sea of them. That's going to be tricky to obtain, I understand. But I gotta have it. Would it benefit them to get a precision buff? Maybe. That would bump them up +4, I think. So they'd have 7 attack on all these. That's a lot better. But still, there's going to be a lot of friendly fire. because how do you avoid it? How do you fucking avoid it? But we gotta give it a try. If it's so bad that it's just like I'm losing battles because they're just devastating my troops, then okay, we'll abandon it. But I gotta try it. Then we have Iron Body Monks. This is my sacred unit, or a sacred unit. Susceptible to shock, poison resistant, recuperation. They have length 3 quarterstaffs to do 19 bludgeoning with 14 attack. But they are very, very unarmored. You need a good bless with these guys for them to even be close to viable. I guess they do have massive natural protection. Okay. Yeah, 15 natural is pretty strong, actually. Okay, I didn't notice that. Alright, so they can't really be buffed with Soldiers of Steel or anything. But, you know, a decent bless, like, I don't know, etherealness. I guess that's a pretty good bless. But yeah, I mean, giving them all ethereal would be strong. Or, I don't know, awe or something. 16 defense, 16 protection is pretty good with length 3 weapons that do 19 bludgeoning. They're not bad at all. I stand corrected. I guess you could throw these in even without any major bless. They'd probably do okay. Those are pretty good stats. And they're not really that expensive outside of recruitment points. 35 gold, 1 resource is pretty cheap for a sacred like this. So yeah, I probably will recruit some just to throw in. Their speed is a little annoying. Their speed 12. So they can't march in step with my Celestial Guards without taking the brunt of everything, but they're not obviously fast enough to keep up with cavalry. They are fast enough to keep up with the ogres, however, and they kind of fulfill a somewhat similar role of smashing while staying alive. So maybe we just toss them with the ogres and have them hit a flank. And we also have Carp Warriors, recruited only in coastal forts. They're not actually carp people. They just like carps. And they live on the coast. They have slash resistance. Affliction resistance. They got length 3 tridents doing 20 pierce. 13 protection, 12 defense. Pretty nice. No shields though, but pretty nice. Crane Warriors have air shield. Cathay and longswords and longbows. Okay. Pretty nice with the longbow. And then Tiger Warriors. This is only in forest forts. They're fire resistant. They got 2 red hot falchions that do 6 armor piercing fire damage. Again, like decent flankers, but that's one of those things. It's like, well, I guess if I have a fort in a forest, I don't usually build forts in forests. I usually build them in farmlands and stuff because I like money. But yeah, that is kind of an incentive. They're not bad. All right. And then there's going to be other things we get. The terracotta stuff. We'll see as we go. And the dragons, blah, blah, blah. That'll be a surprise. What's my assessment here? Well, as usual, I like scales. And I would say we have some fairly expensive troops we'll want to build. The cavalry, 50 gold, 40 resources, 43 recruitment. This thing, obviously, obscenely expensive. This is 65 gold each. The monks are going to be 35 gold each. My main guys are 20 gold, 20 resource, 20 recruit. I mean, we kind of have to go heavy scales, I think. I don't think any of these are unique. Did we just get really fortunate? I feel like Skaven and Dwarves, like the first two I looked at, just got a lot of unique pretender forms and a lot of unique foraging options, a lot of unique spells. I'm not sure. Well, if we want scales, again, we're probably looking at Dominion 4. But maybe there's a better option. We already have Order Limit +2, Growth +1, Magic +1. They already want me to go pretty heavy scales. The only thing I don't have is Productivity Limit. So we'd probably want to look at grabbing something with that, which would be the Jade Emperor. We've used him before for Tianqi. White Tiger of the West. That's basically it. Okay. I mean, White Tiger of the West, we're pretty much committed to Earth and Astral because new paths cost 80. And he'd basically just be... He would just exist to give me scales. That would be his whole purpose. Whereas the Jade Emperor would give Air, Water, Astral, which I think is... I don't know if it's a better mix, really. Yeah, and we actually have a lot more points if we go with the Tiger. And, you know, he's symbolic. So, sure. I mean, we know we're going imprisoned already, so let's just look at that. Order 4, Productivity 3, Growth 3. Oh my, we can just max scales. Holy shit. There you go, done. I mean, yeah, kind of, right? I mean, that's okay, that's probably too insane. Oh, interesting. If we don't take... Okay, I didn't notice that for some reason. But if we don't take Drain 2, we actually get a negative. So that's why I have so many points. Is that part of his? I wouldn't think so. That must be part of Cathay for some reason. Okay, well, I could take Magic 1 then for -1, because we are going to have a lot of mages. Although they're not super great at research. 9 is pretty low. But we will get quills pretty easily, I think. So we'll shoot for that. That allows me to get some points. Could also take Heat 1 for a very minor penalty. 5% income, 10% supplies, pretty minor. That would allow me to get something like that. And then we have 7 bless points. And again, like Sacreds, we have the Monk. We have our big Dragon Blood Lord. And then that's kind of it. The level 1 priest, but we don't care about him. So it's basically just our possible Thug chassis and like a good flanker. So yeah, not much really that I think I'd care about, assuming we don't want any incarnate stuff, but I don't know, does the monk have a magic weapon? He does not, so that could be something we'd take. Technically he doesn't either, but he has this extra fire effect on hit. So you could take magic weapon for that to kick in at some point, but maybe I'd rather just have magic resistance. Magic resistance. Reinvigoration. Yeah, I think he already has mountain survival. So it's really just for... That's such a lame-ass bless. Fuck. But Arcane Command... I guess Arcane Command could be okay. It's a weak-ass bless. I think we can all agree on that. But... he doesn't really need the MR, but the monk definitely benefits from that. But that's only if he gets blessed. And the odds of that actually happening seem remarkably slim, I gotta say. So, I don't know if there's any point in any bless, to be honest. I could just throw this points into into Dominion more to get more Sacreds. But then what do I care about Sacreds? So really just whatever. I guess we'll just do it. Baihu. All praise Baihu. Alright. And we're playing with 10 nations, so I think we're going to bump up. I think we still want 4 thrones. I think that's a good number. But maybe we just make it so that there's like 10 thrones total. Just to spread it out a little bit, you know, more. So it doesn't become a super long game. Alright. It's really crunching the numbers there. Alright, special mechanics. Imperial Harmony. Cathay is a realm that flourishes where peace and control is continuously maintained. For each turn Cathay controls a province and the unrest there is low, the Imperial Harmony of that province will increase, represented by the upgrading of a site. This site has 5 tiers, each providing more gold and resources than the previous. The order is nascent, emerging, basic, established, true. Once a site reaches tier 5, or true Imperial Harmony, it will no longer upgrade. When another nation takes control of the province, the Imperial Harmony will be shattered and the Harmony site removed, though it can begin the process once more if Cathay retakes the province. Bastions. Cathay is a realm of powerful fortifications and defensive measures. If you control a land province with a fort and 40 or more PD, a bastion site will appear. This grants extra wall crossbowmen, allows the recruitment of tortoise warriors, and generates 4 terracotta infantry and 1 terracotta horseman automatically each turn. Should you lose control of the fort, the bastion will be automatically destroyed rather than allowing your opponent to control it. Wow. That's pretty nuts. So we almost want forts everywhere because we get extra gold and resources everywhere that we have like low unrest. So it's like we're not as penalized for building forts everywhere, and we get free units out of them. Well, this was certainly a map position we got. Not many options there, is there? Right. Well, we don't have many priests, so we'll just prophetize our commander. Send our scout out to see how things go. And units. Got 189 resources to play with. We definitely want Celestial Guards. But at the same time, I don't know. Did we want to give up on the Peasant Spearman idea? I think so. I like the Celestial Guards too much. I think one of these is worth like 4 of these. Yeah, probably. It'll be a little bit before I can afford the Wagoneers. Can build Carp Warriors. They're pretty solid, but I like shields, especially against all these early independents. Loads of archers. Do I want crossbowmen or do I want flankers? I would say on average, crossbowmen aren't going to hurt our guys. But that's on average, and you know how it goes. I think I'd rather have some cavalry or the ogres. I think the ogres will be strong early on. I think we can also get some monks. Like, we have options for non-resources. But then again, we can also get some Dynast cavalry. Those are pretty strong. Granted, we could have a lot of spearmen or a lot of rocketeers for compared to just a handful of celestial guards. I do agree with that sentiment. But I think, like, the Jade Swordsman is just folly compared to the Celestial Guard. Basically the same price. There's also the Sky Lanterns, but I really don't have much faith in them. Or we just go with Peasant Archers. But the problem there is they're less accurate, and they are definitely going to hurt our guards, which seems quite lame. So I think... Yeah, options for sure. The repeaters definitely, well, they will. There's this weak poison. So I don't like that option either. I mean, this is usually why I don't like archers and crossbowmen. Damn friendly fire. I mean, we can buff them with air. It helps, but it's another... I'm taking mages off just to buff my archers so that they will hit my guys slightly less. It's more a question of... Yeah, I mean, eventually with cavalry, but I think... Yeah, okay. We're just gonna go with that for right now. We'll have a heavy flank. And then for mages... we got fire, water, air, earth. Well, I'm obviously going to want a lot of earths, because I always like good, strong protection buffs. But ideally, I'd like to line it up so that I have, like, one of it. Like, I wish you could just... queue it up without paying for it. And it would pay for it next turn when it, like, builds it. But it doesn't work like that. You have to pay for it now. So once I have enough money, I can queue everything up. But yeah, right now I don't have that as an option. So, whoops. Yeah, repeat. And we'll just leave it at that. So research. Let's look at our national spells. We didn't really look at that. Level 4 Conjuration, we got Onyx Crowmen. 5 Onyx Crowmen. Stealthy winged humanoid creatures, difficult to harm with mundane weapons, completely obedient and deadly in the use of a great two-handed falchion. They can act independently of mages and are be delegated to the command of common military leaders. Well, I like that they're flying invulnerable henchmen. I like that. That's the only thing we get out of Conjuration, so that's interesting. Alteration, not a thing. Evocation, 1 celestial gift. Identical to the spell Gifts from Heaven, but only a single meteor rather than 3 and with different requirements. So it's Astral 3, Air 1. So our Astromancers, there you go. Range 100, area effect 1. It's still inaccurate with -3 precision, 50 fatigue, 150 damage. With the 8 area effects, 10 armor piercing fire damage. Yeah, well, I mean, that is something very fun. And then you get 4 celestial gifts. Requires 4 astral, but astral boosters are pretty easy. You get 4 of them. Even better. Even fucking better. That's evocation 5. That's not too hard to get. Construction, nothing. We'll look at items in a second. Enchantment, animate terracotta pikemen and terracotta swordsmen. You get 10 for 5 fire gems. They don't need mages to command them. Didn't I take arcane command? So I'm an idiot. They're resistant to fire, fairly durable, although they are vulnerable to blunt weapons. Okay, that's level 4 enchantment. You get Terracotta Horsemen at level 5. 5 of them for 6 gems. Animate Temple Guardian Beast. 6 gems gets you 2 Sacred Temple Guardian Beasts. Very hard to damage. Vulnerable to extreme cold and to blunt weapons. Shockingly fast and agile, and specialize in hunting down and tearing apart demonic foes. Fun stuff. 7, you get Awakened Terracotta Sentinel. A single mighty Terracotta Sentinel troop. Gives it the ability to unleash torrents of fire at the enemy. Created to face the many huge enemies that might beset the fortifications and settlements of Grand Cathay. Carry huge gold and crescent halberds. Alright, well that's all very fun stuff. Okay, so enchantment has some tasty stuff. And that's obviously going to be it. Okay, let's look at items real quick. Nothing at 1. Nothing at 3. That usually means just nothing. Man, okay, the dwarves really lucked out with a unique item. They had some damn good unique items, too. Auto cast Soldier of Steel to start a combat? I mean, come on. Okay. Well, I would say in general, I like my Earth Mage buffs, so I usually lean towards Construction to get at least Temper Armor. ID, but even better, Soldier of Steel. But to get that, we need Conjuration 3. And if you go for Conjuration 3, you may as well go for Conjuration 4 to get those Onyx Crowmen. But Evocation, of course, has the Celestial Gift stuff, and that's always fun. Enchantment has things like Group Iron Skin, which I really enjoy, as well as Mist Form and things. Alteration, though, has... yeah, some other things. Thaumaturgy has all my remote searching that I really love. With this many different mages, is going to be kind of handy. Alright, let's get at least Construction 2. Then Conjuration 3. Actually, you know what? Maybe Construction 3 right away. Because then we can make Quills. Yeah, we'll want Quills pretty quick. Construction 3, Conjuration 3, and then probably go Thaumaturgy, like 4 to get more gems. Research speed 192 per month. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that's a star. I was like, what? Okay, I think that's everything. End my turn, please. Well, we already know everyone that's playing, so on and so forth. Good. Alright, we got a throne next to us. Lion Tribe Warriors, Lion Tribe Archers, Heavy Infantry. All in all, a pretty easy throne once we get enough troops. Apparently I made the Fire Elementalist, and I definitely meant the Earth Elementalist, but that's alright. Okay. We got Lizard Warrior and Crocodiles, and then Militia, Heavy Infantry, Light Infantry. Oh, and Light Cavalry and Militia. We might be able to do this one. Alright, let's schedule. You're just gonna cast Sermon of Courage? No, I mean, I guess I do have a Bless, so cast Divine Blessing, Sermon of Courage, Word of Power. You are going to be attacking closest. You are going to be firing closest, although a little bit further back. And then you are going to be attacking closest. You are a little bit faster, though. 12 and 13. Compared to 9. So, yeah, it's fine. Is that gonna work? Is that gonna cut it? Is that gonna work it? I have no idea. No one has any idea. No one has any idea. We can hope. Alright, we did get Construction 2 already, so that's good. Let's watch, shall we? Let's see how the Celestial Guard does. And the ogres and the monks. I want to see all this. Crossbows, so they do have some heavy cav. Didn't expect that. I don't know who I want them to run into. Probably the ogres. They sure did. Nice shots. Nice shots. Okay. Okay, this crossbow is pretty accurate, shockingly. 13 attack is not bad. Maybe I'm overlooking those jade crossbows, especially with an air buff. Do you think the damage is a little low for most of this shit? But they were dealing damage to heavy cabs, and that's good enough for me, I suppose. Yeah, maybe I'm overlooking the crossbows. Alright. Well, that was very good. We lost one swordsman. And we lost it to a mounted commander, not to friendly fire at all. I guess crossmen only did get 1 kill. The ogres got 7. And the swordsman did very well. There's twice as many swordsmen as celestial guards, but they got more than twice the kills. But I suppose that's kind of how that works. I can't. I mean, they're fine. Like the Jade Sword, I was gonna go with them until I saw the Celestial Guards. So they're good, but I just want the guards. I want more. I want a little bit more. All right, but maybe more crossbowmen is in order. I'm on board with that. All right. Okay, so yeah, we have to get unrest low, it says. So maybe I should spend a turn patrolling here. Probably, because if I put the PD at like 11, it'll take like, well, I guess this will have +2 unrest reduction. But that's +2. Does that include no unrest reduction? Maybe I should just, that's a very small sum, just do it. Now it'll be 5 turns and it'll go down to 0. Alright, I guess let's get an air elementalist now. And good to go. Yeah, I think those ogres are going to be very strong. That's a nice pack. Alright, that is a good army. I'm happy with that. And I'm not going to take any mages off yet. We got plenty of research to do, and they're not super good at it. Yeah, I mean, maybe I take an air mage off to search these places for air sites. So we really need those quills. Alright. Yeah, and I don't think there was any question on if I win. if I win. It's what do I lose? 8 friendly fire, 8 damage scored on one of these guys. Look at that. 11 plus 11 damage roll versus 8 plus 6 prot. Not great. These guys don't really have much protection. No, wait. How the fuck did... How did it do... What is a protection roll 8? They have 18 protection. I mean, even with the piercing, whatever, I mean, that's only 15%. Where did we get the 8 from? Total protection body, 18. Why do I just still understand so little of this game? I don't know, I'm not sure. Alright, anyways, what did we lose? We lost 2 swordsmen. Okay, no celestial guards. You'll notice that. So that's why we're slowly phasing them out. And there was no friendly fire, actually. I mean, there's friendly fire damage, we saw that, but... No, they got 2 kills on swordsmen, so they earned that. Alright, let's bump PD up. Ooh, Bay Pond, 90. Light infantry, cataphracts, and light cavalry. That's not going to be pleasant. Also, we're right next to Tianchi. Not far at all. Well, we will 100% want a fort on Bay Pond. But I think we're going to head back. Maybe do Swamp of Solitude. And then come back for Bay Pond to build a fort there. He's not going to get here and clear this in that amount of time, so I'm not worried. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty happy with the crossbowmen, and I actually do want to buff them with a little bit more accuracy to make them even less likely to hit my big ogres. But I think they're decently solid. I'm not going to tell you that damage is amazing, but again, crossbowman, archer, it's a funny thing. You actually don't want damage to be that high if your accuracy is not amazing. And I think they will be pretty accurate, so maybe we could throw like gift of giant strength on them or something. But yeah, honestly, I think the ogres are pretty damn good. The ogres got 13 kills there. They scored the most. Monks trailing a little behind, but that's partly because the ogres get 2 attacks. And one of them's fucking 26 damage. So the monks can't really compete. And perhaps it's almost like, why bother making the monks? But they're pretty damn cheap, you know. And they're decently durable. Yeah, I mean, my less isn't great, but not bad. Not bad. I get if it's a gold issue, I suppose, but it's not. Right now it's a resource issue. And these guys don't cost much. Okay. And then I guess get me a water mage too. I'm gonna go here and start searching. And we are good. Okay. These guys are gonna hit hard. Lizard warriors are like barbarians, but with spears. So I could bring the earth mages along to temper their armor. That could help, but it's 1 earth mage I'm not sure how much he could really do. So yeah, this one's gonna be painful, and it's not like it's an amazing spot either, but it is resources. All right, we do have nascent Imperial Harmony. No benefits, I don't think. It doesn't say, but it is going. Good, good, good. All right. Yeah, I mean, we're hoping the crossbowmen are pretty accurate here. Because if I can thin the herd a little bit... Oh, I saw a kill. Oh, okay. All right. It's something. Don't like they're casting body ethereal on themselves. Okay. Ooh, the ogres. All right. Minimal. That was good. The ogres with 18 protection. And 18 protection with a big health pool. I'm sure a bunch of them are very low. Yep. Took a massive shot and got a battle fright. Half his health there. He's pretty good. Half his health or so. He took a shot. Yeah, I mean, they all took big hits, but they all survived. And that's why we like them. Excellent. Well done. We lost nothing. I mean, there were some injuries, but we lost nothing. Yeah, the ogres. They're going to be powerful, just like the rat ogres. These guys. Pretty great. All right. Go here to check that. Go here. Go back. Yada, yada. Probably not far off from being able to handle the throne, really. The ogres, as strong as they are, but I want better spells, probably. Alright, let's switch back to Earth. Yeah, okay. Now we got more resources. More of these bad boys. Nice. It's now emerging. Province income +4. That's pretty minor, but imagine that in every province, and this is only going to get better. It's going to be pretty nice. We have a very orderly empire. Seems kind of overpowered, but sure, we'll see. I mean, we can look. Who's on top? Slanesh, Goldtooth Tribe, Tsar Nagarund, Black Craig, and then all the vanilla factions and me. Now, part of that is that I forgot to take off that mod that gives them better starting forces. That only applies to the Warhammer factions. That's not fair. So we've already corrupted the entire experiment. Very corrupted. You can see TNG's struggling. Oh yeah, I was only going to go for an hour. Fuck. It's so hard to stop. It's too hard to stop, man. Alright, we have maxed out Kai Shen. Can I take on this? If I bring both air mages, or both earth mages for temper armor, that might be able to do it. Because I'm really going to need the guard to be pretty strong. I have 125. He's got 240, but we're better in basically every way. It could be a lot of archers, though. But imagine if I get this throne right now. Can you fathom it? Can you fathom that thought? They're going to start moving right away. And maybe there's not a good reason to do that. Let's change to hold and fire. And maybe switch to archers. And then you hold and attack closest. You hold and attack closest. And maybe we switch now to a double line for buff saturation. Alright. A little iffy on it, but sure. We'll see how it goes. What's the worst could happen? Basic Imperial Harmony, plus 8 income and 5 extra resources. And again, they're all getting to this point, so that's plus 16 income. Just from my first 2 provinces. It's only going to get better. Yeah. And we have insanely powerful scales. We will be absolutely swimming in money before long. But remember, we want to build forts like everywhere. We want to build temples everywhere. So we'll be spending that money, don't worry. Alright, let's take it away. Well, it is a lot of men. I like those sounds right now. Coming in hot. Don't kill a mage, please. Did we get boosted? I think we did. No. 13. Yes, we did. Pretty sure we did. Oh, they're gonna summon imps. Fuck, that fucks up the whole ogre plan. No, ogres, get in there. Yeah, we lost. I think we lost both mages. That was a price to pay. They have too many archers. I got no air shield or anything. There's quite a lot of damage amongst the monks. Just too many dice rolls, too many projectiles, that kind of stuff. It's gonna happen. But we're holding strong. The guard. Ouch, that hurt. Ogres are still sweeping. Morale is holding. Archers coming in and get decimated. Routed. Victory. Painful. Victory, but painful. But nothing we can't recover from. 2 mages down, 25 of the guard. That was rough. 5 of the monks, 3 swordsmen, only 2 ogres. And they got 57 kills. Yeah, we will never stop making those. Very strong. So they had, what, 42 kills on their side? We lost 37, so they had some friendly fire, and we probably didn't have much. But yeah, the guards got 96 kills. They are very solid troops. I don't know how many of them were buffed or not buffed, or who knows what with that. But yeah, they were strong. Alright, and now we got the first throne. And Ulm is right here. Alright. Good. I think I am gonna end the video. God, it's so hard to tear yourself away, man. Like, when I get to the 3-hour mark in a video, it's like, okay, I mean, this is kind of long. I really... this is unreasonably long for a video. I think I should end it. But here, it's like I'm just forcing myself. We got the Throne of Chains. Dominion spread 3. Decrease unrest by 5. Order +1. Misfortune +1. And we get 4 blood slaves per turn. That seems like a lot of order. Doesn't that hurt our research? Oh, maybe that's why we needed magic +2. Yeah, I think we do have research -1. Oh no, I took that anyways. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. We have a lot of resources. I probably could start making these Fire Rain Wagoneers instead of just more troops. But I do like troops. We'd have to go with that. Alright, but we gotta see it. But we're gonna have to wait till next time. Doing this last battle to take Baypon, and then that's it. Oh, Rockhand, Oracle of the Ancients. That is Agartha. So then one of the vanilla factions is doing alright. And we definitely took Baypon because an unexpected event happened there. But we want to see. We want to see the taking. Okay, now if you could move up. You can move the troops up. Oh god, they hit the archers. But the ogres with a perfect flank. Crossbows held the line. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Decimates this stupid, shitty infantry. Crossbowmen shredding. Good. Easy peasy. What did we lose? 1 guard, 2 crossbowmen. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Alright, now we have Baypon, which has 16,000 population, even though it's ideal for 10,000. And it's still growing. Still fucking growing. The Shadowglade has 19,000. What the hell? Well, yeah, we're gonna have just an insane amount of money and resources, I think. Alright, I'm gonna end it off here. I see that Early A is already here in the Sea of Silence, so that's fun. That's a whole lot of fun. We did get True Imperial Harmony here. Plus 20 income, 20 resource. In every province. This one has 279 income. We're already making like 1,500 bucks a turn. And it's turn 11. That's pretty good. Perhaps I didn't have to go so insane on scales, but I don't even care. So next time we'll get a fort set up here. We'll get a lab and a temple set up here, and yeah, all that fun stuff. Just looking at the charts for provinces, Slanesh still rocking it. Phlegra is doing okay. So Phlegra, as a vanilla faction, is somewhat competitive in there. And we are actually not that competitive. So we're not doing a good showing for Warhammer. But yeah, obviously influenced by that starting forces mod. And we'll see how much that affects the whole game. Ulm is doing pretty well in research. Agartha. Yeah, okay. You know, it's kind of all mix. Dominion. Yeah. It's hard to say, but it's Warhammer heavy. Army size. TNG and Phlegra are up there. Hard to compete with Black Crag and their insane amount of goblins, but yeah, Phlegra and TNG are up there. And Agartha got a throne pretty quickly, and that's a vanilla faction. So, yeah, I don't know if it's conclusive yet. That's for sure. All right. So, my name is Mangg. Game Watch has been Dominion 6. And I'll see you fine folks in the next part.